All right, guys, welcome back. We now made it down to Vassiliki and we have some company here. Hi, Simon.
Hey, man. Thanks for having us.
This is Simon Cookie. You probably know him from, what's your channel's name?
The Ride-Along channel.
Ride-Along sessions, yeah. You make all these videos where you just go on the water and you just talk on the water. It's a pretty unique concept and I think you're pretty successful with it. So yeah, it's fun to meet up with you. What can you tell us about this spot? I've been here before, like one time, but it's a really strange spot. So can you explain a little bit how this works here?
So when Vassiliki's on form, it's an amazing spot.
Yeah.
The problem we have is reading the forecast because as we discovered yesterday, like everything looks right on the forecast and looking right for Vassiliki isn't like, it's not right.
Yeah.
We need like 8 to 15 knots in a northwest direction.
So northwest would be over there coming from the hill?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have this effect kind of, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Like behind the camera here, there's a 500-meter high hill, a massive mountain running all the way across the bay over there. The wind needs to hit it just right on the other side, and then it fires down across the bay.
Okay, because when I was here last time, I saw some good forecasts where the wind was predicted with like 15-20 knots, and there was actually no wind. So it's kind of strange in the sense that you need little wind so that you have wind here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we're going to test some of the new 0.7 sails because obviously you're also on 0.7 sails.
Yeah.
So maybe you're going to be on the AC0, the new one. I'm going to test also the AC0 and the AC2 if the wind shows up. I mean, now there's nothing. So
it's coming. It's coming.
Fun,
it's gonna happen.
To meet up today.
Yeah.
So let's have a good session.
Thanks for having us. It's good. Let's go.
Okay, from the last scene, it's been about a week and I was staying here in Vassiliki for 3 days more and there was just not any wind. This place seems to be incredibly hard to predict. The locals say there's like a lot of windy days, but you can also have it that the forecast looks perfect, that you have this prevailing northwest and it's sunny and nothing should disturb the wind, but still there is no wind. And it seems to be really hard just to predict in general. So now, 1 week later, the forecast is again perfect. Apparently there was no wind the whole week, but I really want to get these reviews of the AC0 and AC2 done. We cross the road here quickly. So I drove the 2.5 hours down to Vassiliki with my dad, so I have a cameraman. And it looks like, from the first look, that the wind direction is right. It's still early, and I'm hoping to get these videos done today. If you see some action in the vlog, subscribe to the channel and check out the reviews of the two sails because I will upload the videos for those separately. It's always a bit difficult to make reviews for me for a product from a brand that I'm sponsored by because I don't want it to be just like commercial, you know. So I'm trying to focus more on like for who the sails are perfect and for who they are not. So yeah, let's look at the water. Looks already pretty good, a lot of people out. So it looks like the direction is right over there. You can already see the first few gusts and it's still early. So yeah, the plan is to rig all the sails, the AC0, the AC2 and maybe even the AC1 and just do a few runs on each and just get a first feeling of this new sails. So I'm going to test all of the sails with the same board, same mast foot position and the same fin to keep it as fair as possible. Because some of you commented on my last video from Sardinia where I was testing some stuff that I was using a different fin and of course that's true. If you change too many variables, you cannot like say this sail feels so much different because if the fin also feels different, it's a little bit hard to say. That's why I'm using, which one? This one, the 39 from Fine Fin, which is my go-to fin on this board. Then the 117 Dark Horse, probably my favorite slalom board of the Futurefly board this range, of the Futurefly range. And yeah, we'll just test everything on this board. I'm thinking we will use 7/8 for now. Maybe later the wind will increase, then we can also test the 6/8, 7/0 kind of range. But for now, I think we'll go with 7/8. Let's go, I'm excited to get out finally. Today we're going to test the brand new AC0 sail. It's completely redesigned from the ACX from last year. Yeah, this year we have a new name for it, the AC2 for the two cams. And we changed the name because the sail actually changed a lot over the last year. It has a completely different outline now. A lot of power out of the jibe.
So I don't really want to give away too much now, because the individual videos for both of the sails will be coming up here on the channel shortly. So I'll just quickly go into how both sails felt for me on the water, and especially in comparison of those two sails and also with the AC1, which I usually ride. So I started off around noon, when the wind is always lighter in Vassiliki, with the AC0, and got the first gusts with this sail. And I have to say the sail just powers up really, really easily now, because last year for me, this was the one aspect where the ACX was lacking. And now I feel that the sail is really, really easily powered in light wind. And what I mean by that is that passively plane really easily without having to pump too much. And then what is most important for me is that in the medium to low wind range, the board rails really well with the sail. I do notice when the stronger gusts hit that it's a camberless sail, of course, because that's, I think, where really the cambers shine. That in the stronger wind they keep the profile of the sail much longer and the sail will not blow out. I mean, this sail in comparison, I think, does a really, really good job of keeping the profile like a slalom sail. But of course, in comparison to a race sail with cambers, this one will still outperform the camberless sail in this aspect. So then I took a little break of half an hour, and then I went out with the AC2, the 2-cam sail, which was before the ACZ. And that was kind of a good progression as the wind kept increasing. So with the camber sail, I did feel that the AC0, while the AC2 also came up in light wind power, has kind of the edge in the light wind. It really, I think this comes down to that the sail can just like fill up more, because a camberless sail can kind of fill up with the wind more easily, while the camber sail is designed to keep the profile by the cambers throughout the whole wind range. So there actually I felt that the AC0 had an advantage, but what the AC2 did really well, that I could go down in the gusts really nicely and that the sail never blew out, because even in the stronger gusts that were hitting now up to 30 knots later, with the 7/8, I still kept the control. And I think this only a camber sail can do really, really nicely. And yeah, for me, I've said it before that the AC2 is really my most fun sail to ride, because it has the top speed like the AC1, but it's much easier to ride. And especially in conditions like those, where there's a lot of gusty and shifty wind in the bay, that this sail really, really shines.
All right, that was my experience here at Vassiliki. It was a little bit of a hassle to get something going here. I spent the last weekend, including Friday and Monday here, and nothing happened. And today we drove 2.5 hours. I'm very thankful that my dad went with me, so I have some nice footage for you guys. And yeah, I'm also happy that Vassiliki finally delivered. It's a strange spot because the wind is like falling down the hill and you cannot really predict it so well. But when it happens, it's really, really nice, because yeah, you can just go in board shorts. It was 38 degrees at noon today, and the wind just builds throughout the afternoon. I was the whole time on 7/8, first the AC0, then the AC2. The videos about these two sails will also come on the channel the next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, honestly, very happy that we went today and finally got the proper Vassiliki experience. Thanks a lot to the surf school, by the way. A big shout out to them, as they were letting me use all their stuff and were super helpful and friendly. So thanks a lot, big shout out to them. If you're looking for a stay here in Vassiliki, feel free to contact them or get in contact with Cookie. He can hook you up. Big thanks to them. And yeah, I guess that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video about this new spot here in Greece. For me, it was super fun to go here and have a little bit different conditions from Nikolaos, where I usually surf. And yeah, I guess that's it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.